The Earth doesn't exist objectively, it's been projected out. It's a holographic construct that builds itself as we interact with it, and it creates an enclosed system. The ancients knew this. If you look here, this is the Hebrew cosmology of the Earth. This is the Mayan cosmology of the Earth, the Hindu, the Inca, the Islamic, and so on. As you can see, it is an enclosed system. We live inside a giant Taurus field energetically that has been oversimplified as flat Earth. Sun worship was prevalent in many ancient religions. In ancient Egypt, the earliest deities associated with the sun were the goddess Wadet, Sekhmet, Hathor, Nut, Baset, Bart, and Menet. From at least the 4th dynasty of ancient Egypt, the sun was worshipped as a deity Ra. In the Middle Kingdom of Egypt, Ra lost some of his permanence to Osiris, Lord of the West and Judge of the Dead. In Aztec mythology, Tonita was the sun god. In Inca mythology, Intiti was the sun god. In Irish mythology, the sun god was Gran. The deity of the sun in Chinese mythology is Rigong Taiyang Jingyong. In Germanic mythology, the sun is personified by Sol. In Greek mythology, Helios, the Titan, was the personification of the sun. The ancient Greeks also associated the sun with Apollo, the god of enlightenment. The heliocentric globe Earth system is named in honor of Helios. Heliocentrism is designed with the sun at the center and the lesser bodies like the Earth and the other planets revolving around the sun, symbolic of sun worship. In 1543, the famous astronomer Nicholas Copernicus discovered that the planets orbited the sun rather than the Earth. He wrote about this in his book, The Revelation of the Heavenly Spheres. And ever since, this narrative has been pushed hard in textbooks and the education system and in the scientific community. The word planet comes from the Greek word planio, which means to wander away from or to go astray. In the heliocentric system, the planets wander around the solar system. The Earth revolves around the sun, and simultaneously, the sun revolves around the center of the galaxy at 828,000 kilometers per hour. In the Bible, God does not call the Earth a planet or any word that finds its root in the word planio. God called it the Earth, and in Hebrew Strong's it looks like this, which means to be firm or matter. That's why many spiritualists refer to the Earth as the material plane. The truth is, the Earth is not a globe, and it is not flat. Energetically, the Earth is an electromagnetic torus field. It is electric and magnetic. The torus is a fundamental pattern that is found in all of reality. So fundamental, in fact, that science acknowledges that everything moves through everything else in one way or another, including ourselves. Very simply, the torus is a self-organizing energy system that all comes together at a point and expands its energy out all around itself until it returns back to that original space in the center. It will continue to do this again and again and again. This really begins to bridge the gap between understanding how sacred geometry truly is the geometry of life. Our very own hearts are the first and best example of how a toroidal field works. The energy of our heart flows outward in a toroidal fashion, and it is also received in a toroidal fashion. In other words, our emanation of love is a gift to ourselves and to the universe around us. You can look in nature and see these shapes everywhere. It's in oranges and apples and tornadoes and even the earth itself. This basic expression demonstrates how life should really be. All of the energy that emerges from the core travels around the torus and fuels itself. It also has the ability to give other toroidal systems, which are always openly practicing giving and receiving. It really sets the standard for how to do things, and we can mirror this and use it in our daily lives. So, when we say that the earth is flat, we do not mean this, we mean this. The centre of the Taurus field is where the two opposing forces meet. This creates something called the dielectric plane of inertia. We have redshift and blueshift, positive and negative, north and south poles. This is what the Bible was showing us when it talks about the tree of life and the tree of knowledge. This is an atom. In between both fields is a 0 point, or the plane of inertia. It's the balance between the two opposing poles. It creates matter in our physical world, because matter is two opposing forces, electric and magnetic, in motion. Now, let's not get confused by duality. Duality is two different sides of the same force. We see that reflected in many areas. For example, hot and cold are both temperatures, but we experience them differently because they vibrate at different rates. From the highest level, everything is one, including the universe. Spiritual heaven and spiritual hell are both on the same spectrum, but they appear as different experiences because they vibrate at different rates. Electricity has two poles, red and blue. Electricity vibrates, and all vibration eventually comes to a standstill. Magnetism is always pulsating. It has a rhythm. This is why our hearts have a pulse. It is both our breath and the breath of the universe. Your breath is powered by your heart center. This is why the earth is depicted as mostly green. It is reflective of the heart chakra. Earth is an anagram of heart. Both the heart and the earth are the centers of the Taurus field. The heart chakra is green, which is the center of the 7 colors. This is the most powerful chakra in your body. People think it's the crown chakra, but that's not the case. Because if we focus all of our energy in our top 3 chakras, we become naive, because we're easily manipulated, because we are so focused on what's happening on the outside and what is happening to other people that we forget what is happening intrinsically to ourselves. If we focus all of our energy down in our bottom 3 chakras, we become selfish because we don't consider the feelings of anybody else. This is why I believe people who lean more towards narcissism connect with traditional religion. Traditional religion tells us that the most important commandments, if you look at it from a Christian perspective, are to love the Lord God with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind, and love your neighbour as you love yourself. Luke 10, I believe. The narcissist needs to hear this. However, if you lean more towards being more empathic, we don't need to be told this. We know this intuitively. We need to make sure that we balance our energy by focusing on ourselves. The spiritual practices that promote this are occulted or hidden. And the world, which is ironically run by narcissists, have labelled these teachings throughout the years as demonic or blasphemous or heretical. Just look at my comments if you want to see an example. I believe that they have done this to try and keep us empaths or healers from recognising how powerful we really are. Now, going back to the heart chakra, this is the most powerful force because it is the balance of 2 energies. It represents overcoming duality. Nature is also green. This is because we live on the heart chakra, the plane of inertia. Remember, it is not flat earth, it is the centre of the Taurus field. Nature is what the Egyptians called or represented with the goddess Isis. The Greeks called her Gaia. It is Mother Earth because it is here to look after us. The sky is blue. This is not a coincidence. What comes after the heart chakra? Our throat chakra. So we look up towards God and we become inspired to speak the truth. The ancients knew this. We see this here in what they called Midgard. We don't take these symbols literally. It is a metaphor. We live in Midgard, where both positive and negative energy exists. Mount Meru was also known as the centre of the earth, or the Hyperborea. And this is the North Pole, the electromagnetic North Pole. The emerald green tablets tell us, "Know ye, O man, that thy form is dual, balanced in polarity, while formed in its form. See ye not that in the earth's heart is the balance of all things that exist." Here, Thoth is talking about the North Pole and the Aurora Borealis. The Aurora Borealis is the Earth's aura, which is also green, which relates back to the heart chakra. The 7 layers of heaven are the 7 planets in the solar system. It's called the solar system because we are the soul. We are the sun, the soul, and we are inside the soul of our system. You see, the Earth doesn't exist objectively. It's been projected out. It's a holographic construct that builds itself as we interact with it. And it creates an enclosed system. The ancients knew this. If you look here, this is the Hebrew cosmology of the Earth. This is the Mayan cosmology of the Earth, the Hindu, the Inca, the Islamic, and so on. As you can see, it is an enclosed system. We live inside a giant Taurus field energetically. And again, I will repeat, that has been oversimplified as flat Earth. Here are the stars on the outside of the cosmic egg. And then the Taurus field is in the middle, spinning around, and the sun and the moon, which give it its positive and negative charge. The sun gives you energy. That's why we get up in the morning. The moon takes our energy away. That's why you go to sleep at night time. The moon controls monthly cycles. Moon is Mon. This is etymology. Mon, month. Moni, demon. Monster. Stir is star. Moon star is the same as monster. Most women become monsters when it's our time of the month. This is because our energy has been taken away by the moon and the stars. We are also the stars. Young star, minister, Hollywood superstar. They are people who know that they come from the stars. We are the universe. The image of a man is a mirror of this. We are a microcosm of the macrocosm. The body, mind, and spirit. The earth being the body, the moon being the mind, and the sun, or the soul, being the spirit. We have 12 systems in the body, which are governed by the 12 zodiac signs. Each zodiac has a specific element associated with it. Aries, which is the first sign, is the first fire sign. Fur, etymology again. The cerebrum, Aries is also the ram, which is the brain, the cerebrum. In Genesis chapter 11, Abraham has a wife called Sarai. If you combine the word Sarai and Abraham, you get cerebrum. Abraham is the father of the Jews because he is symbolic of the head. He is the head of the body. Aries represents the head. Aries tend to be hot-headed. The Taurus, the Torah, which is the Hebrew Bible. The tornado, which comes from the word Taurus, Taurus field. Gemini, the twins, Castor and Pollux. Libra, that balances the kidneys. 12 zodiac signs, 12 months, 12 cranial nerves, 12 disciples. All symbolic if you read the Bible and if you look at the Bible from a different perspective. I'm working on a document that puts all of this together in an easy to read format, and it will be available for you soon. Light is motion. Light crystallizes into physical matter. This is the biblical fall of man. Like we mentioned at the beginning, spirit and matter are the same substance vibrating at different levels. Low vibrational spirit turns into matter. Think about the Gnostic Sophia. She sees God's creation and decides to create something of her own. She formed her son, the creator of the material realm. High vibrational matter then turns into spirit. Jesus Christ, the light of the world, returns to his Father in heaven. Planets are specific vibrations of light. When these planets materialize, they create metals. They turn into the 7 metals. Saturn turns into lead. That's why lead is red. Saturn is red. Satan is red. This is etymology, not literally. I know that lead is grey before someone corrects me in the comments. Sun turns into gold. That's why the sun is yellow. Even though when you look up at the sun, it's not really yellow, it's white. Saturn crystallizes everything. He is the reaper. He comes around in the winter, in the darkness, in Capricorn and Aquarius season. He is Satan. Jesus is the sun and Saturn is Satan. The ancients knew that it was important to know that we lived in an enclosed electromagnetic system, not just a random spinning ball in the middle of space. This is not to undermine or belittle scientific reason, but from a higher level, we must understand that they want us to believe this so that we stay stuck in this material world. If we believe that everything is material, we can never really affect this plane positively. We stay stuck in the vibration of reason, which is very useful in this world, which is dominated by logic, but it is still limited because you are just governed by your 5 senses, which can only perceive a tiny fraction of the universe. The mental plane is the highest plane. If we look at this model, we can see that each plane controls the plane below it. The mental, the astral, the etheric, and the physical planes. The etheric connects the physical to the astral, but the mental is where the mind is, and it is above all. The ancients always taught about the enclosed system, but the heliocentric earth was introduced and endorsed by the Masons, who want to take over the minds of the masses to control them. These people worship the physical realm. They are who the Gnostics call the rulers or the archons or the elites. That is how less than 100 people can control over 8 billion people on this planet, the planned net. That's why the Masons have to take the oath of silence. They are not allowed to speak about anything because they hold the truths to the mind, which creates our reality. So, once you accept the heliocentric globe model, you subconsciously think that you came from nothing. They want to manipulate your mind, and they have done so since you inherited it, since you came through that portal. You have been manipulated from day one. When you educate yourself about the true cosmology of Earth, you begin to set yourself free. You will understand things better. You will feel better within yourself because you know that you were created as a human, a master manifester, a force to be reckoned with. You are so deeply intelligent. Your mind is amazing, and you came here to manipulate energy or matter, mind over matter. So, what are these people gaining if they tell you that the earth is flat? If you deny your reality, if you deny everything that your sense organs and your intuition is telling you in favor of what they tell you, they can transfer that over into other areas that can benefit them in many different ways. Make sure you subscribe for more knowledge to help you on your path towards enlightenment. I appreciate you all. I love you. And I will see you next time.